Hello everyone, there has been an interesting update about UNESCO World Heritage Site list. In fact, 6 sites from India have been added to UNESCO World Heritage Site tentative list, taking the total number of sites of India on the tentative list to nearly 62. Whereas the sites which have already been made as part of UNESCO World Heritage Sites number is currently 43 sites are there in UNESCO World Heritage Site list. If you observe this, in fact, India is a country with very rich cultural and natural heritage. And UNESCO, under the World Heritage Site category, in fact, recognizes the sites which have outstanding universal value. Outstanding universal value is one of the criteria which has been used by UNESCO in order to designate some sites across the world which are either for natural or cultural purposes or for mixed purpose. If they are of outstanding universal value, then they will be integrated as part of UNESCO World Heritage Site list. And in order to get integrated into the World Heritage Site list, first and foremost, the site should be included into the tentative list. And currently, India has nearly 62 sites as part of the tentative list. And in the 62 sites that are there in the tentative list, recently on March 7th, 6 of Indian sites have been integrated into the tentative list. Let's have a look at which sites are integrated as part of the tentative list. The first and foremost one is, in fact, the site which is called as Mudumal Megalith menhirs, which are present in Narayanpet district of Telangana. You might be already knowing that megalithic is an important period in Indian civilization which occurred in predominantly Deccan and southern part of India, where large stone boulders or stone artifacts have been erected on the dead bodies of people. So which means that the megalithic tradition is a burial tradition wherein after the death of a person in prehistoric times, he would be buried, and in order to mark his grave, usually these things which are called as menhirs are erected. You can observe these stones. So these are the menhirs of Narayanpet district, which is called as Mudumal Megalithic Menhir site, and this site belongs to almost 3,500 to 4,000 years ago, and it is a very important site primarily because the site extends nearly 89 acres in its extent. Then apart from extending 89 acres, one more thing is we will be able to find nearly 80 menhirs of this kind. Menhirs are these stone blocks which are erected on the burial of a person, and this is one site. And the most interesting aspect here is that there are nearly, apart from the menhirs, nearly 3,000 alignment stones are present here. These 3,000 alignment stones are meant to, in fact, mark the dead, or in order to design and decorate the place which is around the dead body, they use these kind of alignment stones. So, and the significance of this menhir is, even though there are many menhirs across the country, this particular Mudumal menhir is very significant primarily because the placement of these menhirs is in sync with some celestial events. It means that this shows some evidence of early man's understanding and observation about the astronomy, primarily because the alignment of these stones is in sync with the celestial events like full moon, half moon, star position, sun position. On the basis of these things, the menhirs have been erected. That is the reason why it has been included in the tentative list, because it shows ideas of early man's astronomy. That is the first site. Then the second site that has been integrated in the 6 tentative list sites is serial nomination for Ashoka edicts along the Mauryan routes. We already know that the Mauryan edicts are some of the most important remains from the Mauryan age. They have been made on major rocks, then minor rocks, pillars, minor pillars, major pillars, caves. So this way, in multiple places, the inscriptions have been given. And these inscriptions sometimes are placed deliberately on the passageways or the routes of the Mauryan age like the Uttarapatha and Dakshinapatha. And currently under the UNESCO World Heritage Site, nearly 34 edicts are collectively planned to be integrated as part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site, primarily because apart from their sculptural brilliance, one more important thing is we know that the Ashokan edicts are very prominent primarily because of their deeply humanistic message, which preaches the concepts like ahimsa. Then apart from that, sadbhavana. Then apart from sadbhavana, it also preaches, in fact, the value of fraternity, brotherhood, peace, tolerance. All of these values are promoted by the Ashokan edicts. That is the reason why it has been integrated as part of the tentative list. Then the third thing which has been integrated as part of the tentative list is, in fact, the 𝐃𝐨𝐰𝐧𝐥𝐨𝐚𝐝 temples. In fact, 𝐃𝐨𝐰𝐧𝐥𝐴 is the 64 yogini temples, which is very important from the tantric point of view. In fact, in the Tantra cult of Hinduism, there is worship of these emanations of goddess Parvati who are called as yoginis, and many such temples are present across India. In fact, they are present in the states like Tamil Nadu, they are present in Odisha, they are present in Madhya Pradesh, they are present in Uttar Pradesh, and most of the temples are of circular nature. This is one example of 𝐾𝐸𝐴𝐧𝐿 temple, which is present in Morena of Madhya Pradesh. So such kind of temples are called as 𝐃𝐸𝐴𝐧𝐥𝐴 temples, and they are present all across India, and all of them collectively should be integrated as part of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Is one more tentative list matter that has been integrated. Then the fourth site that we can see is, in fact, the Guptan temples of India. We might be knowing very well that the Gupta era is considered to be the classical age or golden age of India, where the temple construction style developed for the first time. And if you observe this, the Nagara style of temple construction evolved in the Guptan age, and during the Guptan era, numerous temples have been constructed, but unfortunately, most of these temples are in ruins, but they represent a outstanding human value aspect, primarily because even today, whatever temples are built in northern part of India, they follow the same basic rules which have been set during the Gupta age. And some prominent temples of this period are, one is the temple that I am showing, that is the Deoghar temple, that is Dashavatara temple at Deoghar. Then apart from Deoghar, Sanchi, Nachna Kutar, then Bhumra. This way, in multiple places across India, Hindu temples have been constructed during the Gupta period, and all of these temples are being collectively nominated for the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is the fourth one. Then the fifth aspect that we need to study is, in fact, the fifth tentative list site is the Bundela forts, which have been constructed in the region of Madhya Pradesh. So if you Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, in fact, you might be knowing about the geography of India. There is a particular region called Bundelkhand, and this Bundelkhand region is part of both Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. There used to be a Rajput family in medieval era who are called as Bundela Rajputs. And these Bundela Rajputs, they in fact played a very important role in Mughal administration, primarily because they joined as Mansabdars into Mughal administration. And after joining into Mughal administration, they started building numerous forts across the Bundelkhand region. The palace that I am showing is, in fact, the Jahangir palace, which has been constructed by the Bundela Rajputs. So this way they constructed nearly 6 forts in the Bundelkhand region, which is a mixture of Rajput and Mughal influence. And this is a significant representative of composite culture of India, and these Bundela's 6 forts are also included in the tentative list. And apart from these 5 cultural sites, one site of natural heritage is also integrated as part of the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Site, that is the Kangar Valley National Park, which is present in the Bastar region of Chhattisgarh. And this national park is very peculiar, primarily because it contains numerous limestone caverns. You might be knowing about the limestone caverns, which contain the stalactites and stalagmites. They are erosional features of limestone regions. So these kind of caverns are present in large number in Kangar. Then along with that, it is a tropical deciduous forest, and it is of outstanding human value, primarily because of its natural vegetation, its unique geography, and over and above this, it also contains numerous unique species like the Bastar myna. This is a very unique bird which in fact has the capability to mimic the human voice in forest. That is a unique thing about this forest, which is called as Kangar Valley National Park, and it got its name because of the Kangar River which flows through this national park, and this also has been integrated into the tentative list in order to be nominated for a natural site. And currently in India, there are in total 43 sites which have already been made into UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and of these 43 sites, nearly somewhere around 35 sites are in fact integrated for their cultural value, just like the last year's integration of the Maidams in Assam, which are the burial grounds of the Ahom aristocracy. Similarly, the year before, there was integration of Shantiniketan, the temples of the Hoysalas. So this way, numerous sites have been integrated. In fact, the very first site, which was integrated into UNESCO World Heritage Site category is in the year 1983, when Ajanta Caves, Agra Fort, and Ellora, all of them are collectively integrated in the same year as part of World Heritage Sites. And today, nearly our number is somewhere around 43. Of the 43, 35 are cultural sites, 7 are natural sites, and along with that, there is one site which is a mixed site, which is the Kanchenjunga National Park, which is present in Sikkim region, which is known for its both cultural and natural value. So these are the important things about the World Heritage Site tentative list. And any site, in order to become or included into the World Heritage Site list category, it is mandatory that first it should be integrated into the tentative list, and after it is integrated into the tentative list, there will be a very, very intense exercise wherein we have to meet some stringent criteria. We have to maintain robust management of the region, and along with that, we also should have conservation plans for the region. Only then, if we are able to demonstrate that the said site is of outstanding universal value, then only it would be integrated into the UNESCO World Heritage Site list category. Thank you.
కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్ సంబంధించి ప్రత్యేకంగా సివిల్ సర్వీసెస్ ఎగ్జామ్ సంబంధించి ఏ ఆప్షన్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి, ప్రిపరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి, ఏ బుక్స్ రిఫర్ చేయాలి, ఇలాంటి డౌట్స్ ఉంటే CSBIS అకాడమీని కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు. దీనికి సంబంధించి నా పర్సనల్ అపాయింట్మెంట్ ఈ వీడియో పైన డిస్ప్లే అవుతున్న కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్కి ఫోన్ చేసి తీసుకోవచ్చు.